So Cassie is about to get everything she wants. She put the lawsuit up against Diddy. He paid her like 30 million, 50 million, somewhere along those lines. And now, after she's gotten paid and she's, sitting somewhere in the Bahamas with her family enjoying life, Homeland Security pulled up and said, hey, remember that dude that you wanted all the bad things to happen to because he did all of the bad things to you? Yeah, we gonna need you to testify.
Bad lungs. Lungy. Hey, Pat her, let this play out, baby.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently, Homeland Security calls up Cassie, says, Cassie, we know that you've settled this case with Diddy, and you are now not any further caring to discuss any of these matters, except for most likely with your therapist. But we're gonna need you to testify. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to say, and I want to be clear about this, I am 100% behind this. The reason is, I don't think people should be able to hide behind paying off lawsuits. Now, just so we can be clear, often a person gets accused of a thing by another individual, and then, the person is like, lawsuits is over here, and then the individual pays the lawsuit, and the police try to pull up, but they're never actually capable of it, either because there's only one victim, there's not that many victims, or because it's just so hard for them to put a case together. So sometimes, even though they would like to, Homeland Security, the feds, your local police, their state police, whoever the heck, they can't put a case together. Enters Diddy. So apparently, because so many lawsuits has been filed against Diddy, what that does is that creates corroborating evidence, like corroborating witnesses, corroborating evidence. So now, when you look at Cassie's specific lawsuit, there are other people that's actually confirming that Diddy have done or has did some of these same things to them. So in a bid to put Diddy away for as long as possible, Homeland Security, the feds, whoever the individuals is that's going to be in court, they have solicited the services of Cassie. Now, real quick, so everybody can understand what was going on, there was a $30 million lawsuit. Allegedly, he paid her more than $30 million. Allegedly, he pulled up with like $50 million. I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not, but that's the allegations that's out there. Basically, Diddy was accused of abuse for years and years and years to this young lady. She dated him or started dating him around 2005. And her first album dropped around 2006. And then they actually broke it off completely around 2019. So if we are to believe that Diddy was behaving in this manner through the entirety of their relationship, that's a lot of years, y'all, to be doing what these things are alleged that she's been doing, just so we can be clear. He's being accused of physical abuse, emotional abuse. He's being accused of human trafficking, rape. All of this was in the lawsuit. Basically, also in the lawsuit was some of the physical abuse that she went through, such as Sean Combs often punched and kicked and stomped her. Also, he forced Cassie to have sex with sex workers, which is, I don't get it, but these guys is crazy. And while she was forced to do these things, he would not only videotape it, but he would also watch and then manually crank the shaft. Also, she was forced to carry firearms, and whenever anyone tried to help her or tried to care for her, Diddy would retaliate extremely violently. Remember, there's that story about Kid Cudi's car being blown up. I don't know if Kid Cudi's car was actually blown up. I'm just saying, it's a story. Also, she had been forced to take drugs and procure drugs, but she was forced to take drugs, which led to an assumed or an alleged or a real, I don't know how to put it, memory loss issue in which she has, but she's not able to remember chunks of days or weeks or just parts of her life. And so they went to go get an MRI. I'm assuming the MRI showed brain damage, and Diddy took those medical records. So this lady has been abused in multiple different facets, in horrendous ways. And if we are to believe that these abuses are true, this is actually an extremely terrible man. Also, around the time that she was actually breaking it off for him for good, she's accusing him of actually forcing her to come to his home, where he there raped her. So I don't know if this is a situation where we can say, she's making anything up. Also, there is, I'm not going to call out the rapper, but I heard a rapper, an up-and-coming rapper, female, from New York, not going to call her out, this is saying about her, this is about the statement she made. And she basically said, Diddy had the wrong girls around him, because I know girls that would have did this, and I know girls and they would have been happy. And this is the point. Those girls were those type of girls. You get it? He wasn't just... Also, homegirl that he has now is 100% that type of girl. I don't even think she knows she's a sex worker. Talking about Young Miami. I don't even know if she knows she's a sex worker. So one of the things we have to realize is, in the beginning, I'm assuming most of these females that this happened to, they was okay with it in the beginning. Also, basically, one of the main reasons why the lawsuit was even able to happen is because of the New York Adult Survivors Act. Basically, that was created because there are a lot of people that were abused in horrible ways, and they don't even know it, or they can't really cope with the abuse that they went through, and it takes years for them to even have the strength to tell another person. So the Survivors Act, where they had like up to a year, but I think they extended it to like a whole nother year after they seen all of the people that, after Cassie came out. And I'm not just speaking about Diddy, I'm just saying just in general. But after some of the people had came out, that emboldened other people who were in similar situations and who have been abused to then come out. So I think they extended it like an extra year. So now basically, besides the other individuals, they haven't really been saying anybody's name. I think that, besides Little Rod, I would assume this is the biggest name to come out. And also, I want y'all to understand, Ethiopia, that's the lady that used to be the CEO of Motown Records. I have no idea how to say her last name. She allegedly was going to speak out against Diddy and testify against Diddy, allegedly. And now all of a sudden she came out and she said, I'm not testifying, they lying over the years. And then all of a sudden we hear that they got Cassie on board. So the point being is, I'm pretty sure that some of these individuals that were gonna testify and now they're not gonna testify, the main reason why they were saying that they were gonna testify is so they could probably avoid, charges themselves. They can avoid being a co-defendant. And I'm gonna assume if Ethiopia, because remember, Motown Records is a co-defendant in this, for everybody that don't know. She was the CEO of Motown Records. I'm assuming if these actions that they're saying happen around the same time that she was CEO, I wouldn't be surprised if her name is now added, because, you know, we weren't going to put you in this mess, but now you're not helping us. Now it seems like you're doing the opposite of helping us. So that means that you with them, you with the apps. And so therefore, we're going to treat you like one. With that being said, Cassie coming out and deciding to testify against Diddy. There's no telling how many other individuals are also about to testify. But I do want to add something. So remember we heard that they call him King Combs, as Christian Combs. He recently had a girlfriend, an ex-girlfriend, say that, you know, she was working on creating a lawsuit against him for the same things that Diddy is being accused of. So this is what I mean by I wouldn't be surprised if this individual is also, in addition to Cassie, and I'm gonna assume they got many others, be a witness for the federal government. At this point, I just don't see how. There's just too many situations. There's too many. I'm not gonna say too many people, because people lie, but like I said before, these lawsuits have corroborating each other to the point where don't be surprised how many more people come out. I'm waiting to see if more men are going to come out specifically, because what I believe is going to happen is this: when this goes to trial, if this goes to trial, what you're going to see is the feds are going to draw a line in the sand, and basically, for everybody who's been mentioned as being a participant in some of these, you know, group activities, you know, where people like Cassie, who did not want to participate in this type of stuff, was at, I can see them now. If you either help us or you're going to jail with homeboy, because I think that that's basically the same exact deal that they gave to the people who were involved in the R. Kelly situation. And that's why I believe you had so many people that had benefited off of R. Kelly's bad behavior come out and say, nah, he's a terrible guy. Because at the end of the day, if they didn't, they were going to be held responsible also. Now, with that being said, you got names on there like Lucy Grange. You got names on there like the CEO of Motown, like I just said. You have these names. Ethiopia is her first name. You have these names on this list. Cuba Gooding Jr., you have these names on this list. So I'm going to assume at one point or another, if they're really after Diddy and they're not after like the whole cabal, I'm not saying that there is a cabal, I'm just making jokes. But if they are after Diddy and they're not after the entirety, just Diddy, I would see them giving these other individuals the option or the opportunity to come out and testify against them. But also, Diddy has I believe he has a lot of video on everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised that if he has incriminating video against some of these individuals. And that's why they might be like, I'm sorry, feds, there's nothing I can tell you. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification. Hashtag Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about it.